Salut Romanian learners! Season 2 brings us to nouns. With weird endings and impossible plurals, I am sure many of you will love this playlist. Obviously, one would need to learn numbers and genders and cases, but I assume you would if you got all the way down here. Anyways, today we have a short one, briefly covering all the main aspects of nouns and a couple more advanced tips about nouns and phrases. This video will be filled with examples to hopefully shine a light on whatever you still have unclear. Because why would you spend time here learning Romanian when you could instead speak Romanian to somebody, right? Talking about speaking Romanian, I can help you with that if you check the links down in the description, either to book a meeting with me on Calendly and to talk about your Romanian progress, or just by joining for free the Discord community. As always, check the time markers down in the description to jump to a specific topic and help this channel in the way you see fit by liking it, subscribing to it, giving any kind of feedback, or just sharing it with other Romanian learners. Nouns, here we come. So, nouns in Romanian. There are 3 steps, as you saw in the description, that you need to take into consideration. We will begin straight away with the first one, and that is related to what nouns can be. Why is this important? Because many people get this completely messed up, especially when you have no idea of what grammar is and how it works. So in terms of what nouns can be, they can be quite a lot of things. As you can see here, I have one noted with red there, so we'll talk about that in a second. Let's go through what nouns can be. Living things, including plants, because in Romanian plants can breathe, right? So they are living, fată, fluture, floare, copac. Objects, inanimate things. We'll get to gender in a future video and talk about this more, because most of the objects are neuter. Then natural phenomena, like things that can happen in nature: fulger, furtună, cutremur, lightning, storm, earthquake, and so on. Traits and characteristics, frumusețe, înălțime. Here you can think about it that this is the characteristic, not the actual way you are described, because frumusețe is beauty, frumos is beautiful. So also in English, beauty, beautiful, they are different words, right? Think about that, please. Next, feelings, bucurie, tristețe, frică, so on and so forth. That I think is quite clear. Then relationships, prietenie, rudenie. Yeah, there's not much to say here, I guess. Then names. This one is quite an important one, because here many people, especially because in Romanian you have only a number of words that you get capitalized compared to English. Things get this a bit confused, and also because you have words like country names, town or city names, mountain ranges and rivers, that they are all capitalized, and they get a bit weird, I guess, in some people's opinion. But they're all nouns. All the things that are capitalized, all the words that are capitalized in Romanian, all the names basically are they're all nouns, and we'll come to talk about this in detail in a second, because they're all proper nouns, right? Then days, months, times of day. As I said previously, not all nouns in Romanian are capitalized. Like in English, for example, you have Monday, Tuesday, January, February. They are not capitalized in Romanian, but they are nouns. And seară, noapte, dimineață, all the times of day, that actually all of them are feminine. But again, we'll mention some stuff about gender, and we'll have a separate class about gender of the nouns. They're all nouns. After that, numbers and letters. Un, doi, un, trei, un, cinci. So, for example, if you're in the Romanian schooling system, or you have a kid in the education system in Romanian, If they get, for example, un doi, un trei, un cinci, that's how they would say it. They don't say, like in English, I got, I don't know, what do you get, an F or something. No, you do say, I got am luat un doi. Obviously, you could say, I took an F, am luat un F, and that would be the same situation. It would be a noun as well. It would be a letter, but it will be a noun. And you would say un ce. If you're a cheerleader, maybe you would say, give me a nay. After that, musical notes. Here, it's different than in English. It might be the first time you've seen it, but yeah, do, re, mi. That's how musical notes are in Romanian, not C, D, E, Q, whatever you have. Then materials, lapte, ulei, făină, pământ. All those materials are nouns. They are, you can think about it like substances. Yeah, they're all nouns. After that, sports. Basket, football, basket, football. Oina, either if you're Romanian or not, you might not know about the sport, but you might want to Google it just in case. Most Romanians don't know about it either. Colors, roșu, verde. Here it's a bit different, right? So you have colors like basically any color in the world that you can get it as a noun, but also as an adjective. So don't get confused when you say the red t-shirt or the red is. Yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah, this red is, I don't know, extremely dark, or this red or this green is extremely light. That will be a noun because you're talking about it, it's a subject. When you talk about the red t-shirt, you are giving the t-shirt the property of red. That is very different. I would recommend checking the adjectives video if you haven't done already. And then here we have abstract terms like adevăr, auz, câștig, iubire, milă. Those are all abstract in Romanian. So by abstract, I'm not going to get into what that means because that's philosophy. But basically, you have all those things that describe a property, for example, or a trait maybe as well, or whatever. They're all nouns because you can count them, right? So this is another thing to bear in mind. Like nouns, most of them have numbers, so you would be able to count them. You can't say one truth, two truths. You can say one love, two loves, one mercy, two mercies. That is possible. You just sometimes don't think about it in another language. Then sciences and arts. Here you have all those I, E, and words that are feminine, and we'll again talk about gender in a bit more. But yeah, they're all feminine. Most arts and sciences are feminine. And finally, actions. Okay, so this one is a big one because many people that are new to Romanian, they confuse a lot the actions when we talk about verbs and what this means here. If you don't know the difference, or if you haven't really studied verbs, we have a video up here. Please check it out before we continue, or if you want later as well. So let's talk about the actions. For example, this one, muncă. Muncă is the work. It's a noun. If you watch the video or you know what verbs are, to work is not muncă, is a munci. Pardon my writing. So if you want to say, this is not a munci, that's not the way I wrote it. Anyways, if you want to say I worked or she will work or so on, you would use this or a conjugation of this. But when you want to say the work is over or he has done a lot of work, you use this one. You see the difference? This one needs a subject, needs somebody to do it. This one can be its own thing. Same with luptă, same with alergare, mers, tuns, and so on. That's why I put this with red. still, I still find a lot of people that get that confused. So please take this into account. Actions can be nouns, not necessarily verbs. So this is the first idea here, what nouns can be. I really thought that this needs to be clarified because some things on this list are very, very unclear for people, and we can move to the next one now. The fact that they are flexible. Okay, this one will be very interesting probably for most of you. There are three ideas here that we need to talk about first. So what do I mean with this idea? They are flexible. They can have a different gender. Then, based on this gender, they can have singular and plural. And also, based on the gender and number, you'll also be able to put that noun into a case. So I would say this is the way those are connected, really. A gender can give a number, and the gender and the number are important when you talk about cases. Here we have masculine, feminine, neuter. We'll have a separate video talking about specifically gender. We'll have also a video describing in this season. All of those videos that I'm talking about right now are in this season. Number, it's also going to be discussed, the singular and the plural. I know the headaches around creating a plural in Romanian. And also there will be a video describing the case for nouns. Those are the 5 cases in Romanian. If you don't know what cases are in Romanian, there's also a video about that in the Romanian Academy. Check that out. So, looking at those words that I wrote here, băiat, professor tigru, boy, professor tiger, those can be a few examples to consider when you, like main examples to consider when you think about gender, when you think about the masculine. Then feminine, femeie, doctoriță, pasăre, neuter, tablou, pahar, deal, etc. Nothing too crazy here, just different words and different genders. However, looking at this, the number, yeah, you can have the singular. I just put all the words from here. Băiat, professor, femeie, blah, 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 blah. And then the plural, right? So the endings change, like in most languages, they get a different ending to show that it is the plural. As I said here, the gender directly influences the number. Then, finally, the case. Look here. You have in nominative. You have băiat, un băiat, băiatul, băieți, niște băieți. So here, basically you just have singular and plural with some other variations and some other declinations. So you need gender and number to know what those words, articles, specifically articles, you need to put. Same here with genitive dative. You have băiatului, băieților, băieților. The al, a, I, ale doesn't depend actually on the word itself. This depends on the possession, but we'll get to genitive later. Dative is băiatului, băieților, and then even vocative, it has 2 versions, one for the singular and one for the plural. So you can see the connection between the 3. Now, moving to the second way they are flexible, and there will be one video to describe all those 3 terms a bit later on in the season. So nouns can be simple or compound. So this is in Romanian described as form. You have simple that are basically one word nouns, exactly the ones that we, this is this is a mistake here, femeie. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there was... No, I think I changed that. Cool. So compound nouns are, you see those longer ones? They are made of either a series of words, yeah, Curtea de Argeș, or a concatenation of words, basically joining 2 words together or 3 words together or whatnot, or combining 2 nouns or 2 other words, or 1 other word and a noun by a hyphen. Those are all nouns and they are compound. They are made by putting together a series of either nouns or other words as well. And then they can differ based on content. So they can be common or proper. Most nouns are common. There are also proper nouns in Romanian. All those that I talked about previously that are capitalized are proper nouns in Romanian. They can also be compound, as you can see here. You can have mix. You can have a mix between those two. You can have, for example, simple proper nouns, which is Andreea. You can also have a compound proper noun, which is Curtea de Argeș. You can have a common compound noun, which is Câine lup, for example, or a common simple noun, which are basically the easiest. There are those 1 words. And then finally, the noun phrases, which are basically made from a combination of a noun or a series of nouns and other words, like ținere de minte, is just another way of saying memory, băgare de seamă, attention, părere de rău, regret, and so on. Those are quite difficult to get into your vocabulary, but the moment you have those into your vocabulary, you will speak more correctly and more Romanian. People will spot the difference. Bun. All right. So the last thing that I want to talk about here in the flexible department is that, okay, here there's one more thing that I forgot to add. So those things can be connected, and also the noun phrases, yeah, because I talked earlier about the ones that can be, for example, simple and proper, yeah, compound and common, and so on. And then you have the noun phrases, which basically are a full combination of everything. But they don't really depend on the form and context. They actually depend more, for example, on verbal phrases. Anyways, so we have here as a last idea, we have the word floare, and I just wanted to say that the word floare can go through everything. Let's see, gender. Yeah, so gender, here we have only one place we can put it on. It's floare, and that's it. That's the dictionary form. Then number, you have singular floare and flori. All right. Then you go to the case and you talk about obviously some variations with the articles as well, and you'll get floarea. You can get floare here as well, so you can say floare, floarea, flori. This is the singular in all the forms: the no article, the definite article, in genitive dative, and then the plural. You can get flori, as we saw already, florile, florilor, and also you can get the indefinite article, which is o floare. You have niște flori. You have unei flori and unor flori. quick introduction to what this means. So flower here, flowers, the flower, the flowers, of the flower or to the flower, of the flowers or to the flowers, a flower, some flowers, of or to a flower, of or to some flowers. This might get confusing, but just wanted to make that clear. And then, for example, the word flower can get different types of, for example, forms, contents, or phrases. For example, I don't have a lot here because it really depends on the word. But for example, you could have, depending on the form, you can have a compound one like floare de colț, which is a type of flower. You can have, for example, a proper one like Flora, that can be a woman's name, or you can get a noun phrase like copil din flori, which means an illegitimate child. I couldn't find any other word that actually could go through all of them. Hope you have fun with this one. Anyways, so this is the word floare, and you see how flexible it gets, right? It can get so many things from one simple word, and I know it can get confusing, and I know it can get some headaches, but this is how you would like to learn Romanian. And finally, here, the third and final step. This is all about the meaning and the position of a noun in a sentence. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that nouns can be anywhere in a phrase. It can get like very different positions. You can see here, this word leul is pretty much everywhere depending on how you change the rounds and you change the sentence around. And also based on this, you can get a different meaning, although it looks very, very similar. By meaning, I don't mean it can be a noun or a verb or a pronoun. I mean, the sentence has a different meaning. So if we take, for example, the first one, leul este deosebit de puternic pentru un animal de pradă. This is like a definition, basically. Like you say that the lion is extremely strong for a prey animal or for the predator. Pentru un animal de pradă, leul este deosebit de puternic. This already sounds a bit more, I guess, scientific. Maybe you hear this in a media coverage or like a documentary. Pentru un animal de pradă, deosebit de puternic este leul. So here you give everything, like you give all the information, then you put leul at the end. I guess here, pentru un animal de pradă, deosebit de puternic este leul. This is a bit more artistic. It gives you a little bit more time to give basically all the description and the blah 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 that you want at the beginning, and then say what you actually mean at the end. And then finally, deosebit de puternic este leul pentru un animal de pradă. This is like, you would need a ... or like an exclamation mark. Like you have seen something and you are really, really surprised, for example. So yeah, I don't know, like again, like a documentary, or how the lion caught the prey or something like that, something on those lines. So careful, because where it is in a sentence is also very important. Quick recap here. Bear in mind what can be a noun. Take into account the types of nouns and how they can change. If you found this interesting, you can look for other words that give you all this variety. And then nouns can be anywhere in a phrase. Yeah, so the meanings change based on that. The meanings of the sentences change based on that. So this last point is for you to show how to see how flexible Romanian is. All right, and that's it about nouns in Romanian. That's about it, folks. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you found it useful or you didn't, please let me know in the comments below. Drop in your feedback, tell me about it. You can also check the Discord community and the Calendly link if you want to talk to me, or if you want to try to expand a bit your Romanian. Like it, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for being part of the Romanian Academy. Until the next time, la revedere!